Hello everyone and welcome to Khan's Gamecast number 2. Hope you guys are all having a good time. Me personally, I did not sleep today and I don't need to. I just have to record more and more videos until my head explodes. No, in all reality, I've been really busy these past couple of weeks. I've been going through a couple of changes on my YouTube channel that I can't really announce just yet. Still working on getting all of that stuff sorted out, which is why I've been missing out on a couple of stuff that I had to do on my website and whatnot. And yeah, it has not been an easy couple of weeks, but we will soldier through. We will get through this, and we will do so in style. Donning the hat of souls, welcome to Khan's Gamecast number 2. Let's get this party started, shall we? So starting up, I'm going to go ahead and give out a couple of shout outs. And those shout-outs are going to be starting right up with Alan Chung, who has donated to Rurikhan. Thank you very much, Alan Chung. Most appreciative of your effort. And next up, also big shout-out to Daniel Coxa, who has also donated to the Khan. Thank you very much, good sir. You two are the ones keeping this website alive. You two and everyone else that's contributing, whether it be by donating or spreading the word out to everyone else of all the good work. At least I like to think it's good work that I'm doing here. So thank you very much for that. Next up, I actually have a shout out that is not as happy, but it is a shout out that was requested of me at Facebook. It was requested by Adam Edwards for me to give a shout out to Ethan Sarker, who has died in a car crash on April 8th, I believe. I'm very sorry for your loss, Adam Edwards, as well as obviously the loss of the guy's family. So I'm very sorry, and I hope that wherever you are, Ethan Sarkar, you're keeping it real, with a controller in hand, hopefully having some fun. So yeah, I mean, it's not often that I get asked to do shout outs like this, and I realize it's kind of hard when someone dies in a car crash. It's probably something that, I mean, it is something that happens every day, but when it happens to someone close to you, my thoughts go out to them. Yeah, I really don't know what to say in times like this, so. Anyways, the other shout-outs I have to give are to Anton Romaniuk and Andreas Schmidt for keeping up with their project Wing Commander, which is turning out to be an awesome project. I believe they're having a lot of success with it. They're awesome in all the stuff that they're doing, and they've been big supporters of me, and it's amazing to have people like them support me. So thank you very much, Anton Romaniuk and Andreas Schmidt. Keep the Wing Commander project going. Do not give up. And yeah, I mean, it has already released, but they still are working on it, I believe. So yeah, good job, guys. That's an awesome game you guys got there, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Next up, a shout out to Sidestrafe and Miss Pandora for participating in the Dark Souls machinima that I did called Hallowed. Hopefully you guys will have seen that. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. I've worked a long time in that project. So has Sidestrafe and Miss Pandora. They're both awesome. There will be links in the description below. You guys can visit their channels. I cannot thank them enough for their participation because I wanted to do a machinima and I needed to do it with voice acting, a proper script, and it was a lot of work. And it really didn't came out as good as we liked, but it's still, I mean, I still thought it was a pretty decent project. So hope you guys have enjoyed that. And thank you very much to them both for participating. So now let's get on with the show. So the very first item on today's show is that Dark Souls is coming to the PC. I can't actually believe that through the use of a petition and a couple of thousand, so to speak, like 80-something thousand or 90,000, 100,000 signatures on a petition, we've actually managed, and I say we as in this huge community. I mean, even Total Biscuit was a part in getting this thing done, probably a major part, and I wasn't even aware of it. I just saw today Total Biscuit's video about why he thought Dark Souls should come to the PC, and he's probably one of the major people responsible for getting a lot of people to go to that petition and vote, and I think that's really amazing. So big thanks to Total Biscuit for working it out for everyone, because obviously I tried driving attention to this petition, but obviously my reach is not as huge as Total Biscuit, so it's a good thing that he came up behind this. And Dark Souls is coming to the PC on August, so all of you PC gamers out there who kept telling me, man, I wish this game would come to the PC, your wish has been granted. So now there's absolutely no excuse for you guys not to play Dark Souls. There's no excuse for anyone in the whole world not to play Dark Souls, because it is available on pretty much every major console and computer. So, I mean, except for people who have only a Wii, nobody else has an excuse. So get Dark Souls if you haven't already, and get started on that game, because it is amazing. So let's get started with the discussion of Dark Souls PC, and I'm going to give you guys my opinions on just about everything. So first off, let us ask the question of, is it a good thing that Dark Souls went to the PC? And why is this question even brought up? Now, obviously, a lot of people are going to be like, well, because the PC is the platform where everyone pirates and steals and does all these terrible things. And all I have to say is that's all really mostly in the past. I mean, the people that do pirate and steal, I would have to say shame on you. Because, I mean, honestly, developers need to be supported. Otherwise, they will not make these awesome games that everyone enjoys to play. And whether or not you enjoy some of the games that some developers do or whatever, it doesn't matter. The developers kind of need to be supported. Let's put it like that. So you owe the developers your support if you are playing a game and you enjoy the game. Now, is it a good thing that it's coming to the PC? In my opinion, yes. I am a firm believer that every game should go into every single platform in existence. Simply because it's not about where you play the game, it's about whether you enjoy the game or not. Like, for instance, I don't particularly see the reason why a Gears of War game could not go onto the PlayStation 3, just like I don't see the reason why a God of War game cannot go to the Xbox 360. I mean, it's just these exclusivity things, like, oh, I got the best exclusive. I'm a PlayStation 3 gamer and I got the best exclusives. Or I'm an Xbox 360 gamer, I got the best exclusives. Or I'm PC gamer, I've got the best. And it's like everyone's friggin' throwing rocks at each other, and they really don't realize that the only person that comes out wounded in the end when a game does not come out for all the available platforms, the only real person that is getting hurt by that is the consumer. It is you, the ones that are arguing against each other, whether or not the Xbox 360 is better than the PlayStation 3. It's you. You're the ones who are getting injured and getting poor service and whatnot, because you're too busy arguing amongst each other instead of focusing on the fact that it doesn't matter where you play it as long as you play it. That's what matters, which is why I am a strong supporter of Dark Souls going on to the PC, so that PC gamers can play it too. But then there's this whole piracy thing going around. Oh, there's going to be pirates and they're going to pirate the game and blah, 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 blah. And whatever. There's pirates on consoles too. There's just less of them because they have to put their console in some place so they can chip the console and then it can run pirated games. But there's pirates in the consoles too. Don't make mistake here. There's pirates in the console market. There's pirates in the PC market. It just happens to be easier on the PC. But here's the thing. It's also pretty easy in the consoles. So whoever is pirating in the consoles is going to pirate on the PC as well. So, I mean, no, what I meant was the other way around. Whoever is a pirate in the PCs is going to be a pirate in the consoles as well. So it's just, there's no argument whether there's more pirates here or more or less pirates there. I mean, the reason why video games sell more on consoles is because people buy consoles exclusively to play games. And not everyone buys a PC exclusively to play games. And although there's plenty of people that do it, though. There are plenty of people that do it. Make no mistake. But I just think that the whole piracy thing is really an issue that has been getting blown out of proportion because I'm not going to say that piracy is a thing of the past, but currently the current gamer generation is, in my opinion, slowly beginning to understand that if they don't buy games, companies go bankrupt. If companies go bankrupt, they won't produce more games. So you won't be getting any games to play. I think that slowly this generation is getting it, and I don't think that piracy is going to be a major issue, because let me just tell you right now, to everyone that's thinking of pirating Dark Souls, you're an asshole. Because you're going to be missing out on a major portion of the game, which is the multiplayer. And this game has an amazing multiplayer component. So fuck you for pirating Dark Souls. And is it a good thing that Dark Souls is coming to the PC? Absolutely. Make no mistake. It is going to be an awesome ride. And I think that PC gamers are going to be creaming their pants right after they piss them in fear. If that even makes any sense. But yeah, I can't wait to see what's the reaction from the PC gamers who have never played Dark Souls when they actually get their hands on the game. They're going to be like crazy. Dark Souls is going to explode. It's going to become an amazing classic. It's never going to go away. It's basically going to become a staple in RPG history. And anyone who tries to prove me wrong will be shot. And that's all I got to say about that. Now then, let's talk about the new content. The PC version is obviously going to be bringing some new content, as everyone has already heard. It is called the Prepare to Die edition. So it brings all the features you have on the PlayStation 3 plus some new content. So among that new content, you're going to get to fight Artorias the Abyss Walker. And the thing they refer to him as Artorias of the Abyss, but anyone who has killed Sif knows that you need the Ring of Artorias and able to, what is it called? Covenant of Artorias? I don't know, Ring of Artorias Covenant? I don't remember, but you need that ring in order to go to the Abyss, which is why I like referring to Artorias as the Abyss Walker. So you're going to be fighting Artorias, and from the trailer that I've seen so far, it seems that Artorias is actually that big black dragon that you see. I can't wait for that, because I mean, as you guys know, my main character has the great sword of Artorias, and I am a big fan of all the lore behind Artorias, how he used to go into these dealings into the Abyss and with the Dark Wraiths and all that crazy stuff. So I am definitely interested in seeing how that plays out. There's also going to be the Chimera of the Tomb. You've also seen this in the trailer, which is that white lion-looking thing with the wings. That is going to be another boss that you're going to be fighting. There's going to be new mobs and new areas for you to explore, which obviously I can't wait for, because I just love exploring every single nook and cranny in the Dark Souls world. You're going to be able to apparently interact with Hawkeye Gog, which is one of the, Gwyn's 4 lieutenants, I believe. There was Hawkeye Go, there was Sierran, there was Ornstein, and Artorias. So you're going to be able to interact with Hawkeye Go, which is awesome. There's going to be new weapons and armor for you to gear yourself up. And yeah, I mean, it's just expanding onto the Dark Souls universe. I'm all for that, because despite the fact that they've always said we're not going to be making DLC and there really aren't any plans for a PC version and whatever, I mean, I think the Dark Souls, considering how much time has passed, actually how much time is going to pass until the PC the next version is actually released, I think it's fair for them to do DLC, because they released in October and they're going to release the PC version in August. So it's almost like a year after. And I think it's pretty fair if they release DLC now, as long as it's good DLC. If it delivers on all the stuff they're promising right now, that's a pretty solid DLC. I would buy that. But they still haven't announced that it's going to be DLC. For now, it's just announced for the PC version, but we're going to be addressing that in a couple of minutes. Now, however, we have to talk about the new multiplayer system. So there's all this other stuff that I've just told you that's going to be coming out for the PC. And there's also a new multiplayer system. You guys are wondering, whoa, what do you mean new multiplayer system? Well, it looks like on the PC, you'll actually be able to play cooperatively with your friends Straight up. There's no need to do the whole, I put the sign here and then you get summoned here. I put the sign there, whatever. You're going to be able to do easy matchmaking, both for co-op and apparently team deathmatch. So that's definitely good news, or is it? That I'm not so sure of, because one of the big things about Dark Souls and Demon Souls was the way they handled the multiplayer. The whole thing about it being very random. The people you would get would be random. You could get invaded. I'm wondering, can you get invaded in the PC version? Because that's one of the major flaws. If you can't get invaded while you're playing on the PC, come on. I mean, because the invasion system is awesome, regardless if you're going to get invaded by someone who's just going to one-shot you or two-shot you. It doesn't matter, because it gets you that adrenaline pumping. And that is what I'm talking about. Every single time that I am in human form in Dark Souls, I'm like always getting ready to be invaded, always getting ready to get raped or whatever. And it keeps your adrenaline high. It keeps you in the game. It keeps you focused. It keeps you always on the edge. And that's a good thing. And I just think that if they aren't going to do that for the PC version, I'm going to be disappointed, because I expect the PC players to also get that adrenaline of the possibility of being invaded by another player, getting their asses handed to them. I think that's a good thing. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like getting invaded. Well, maybe you should go play Care Bear Island. Just saying. That this game is hardcore. You're supposed to get invaded. You're supposed to have to fight other people in order to just continue to play the game. This is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Don't try to sound it off like it's a bad thing. A lot of us like the game as it is. So getting invaded is part of the game. So I expect the PC version to have that fully featured, despite the fact they have this whole new multiplayer system. Now, the other thing is obviously a very bad thing, which is Windows Live. Really, From Software, that's the best you could do? Games for Windows Live? I can already feel my lunch coming back up just by saying that. God, I hate the service of Games for Windows Live. It's just a crappy service. I'm sorry. It's terrible. Nobody likes it. Nobody. Why would you do this to us, From Software? Now, obviously, I did have a friend of mine who told me something. I did not double check it, but he has told me that there are apparently players who are thinking of boycotting the PC version of Dark Souls because it uses Games for Windows Live. And I have to say, as much as I don't... Whoa. Sorry about that. As much as I don't like Games for Windows Live, I don't think that boycotting Dark Souls for the PC is going to be the best thing that you're going to want to do, considering how much you asked for it and how much you pledged. I'll buy it straight up as soon as it comes out, and not just because it's in a service that you don't like. I mean, it's kind of bad if you just leave a bad taste in From Software's mouth by saying, oh, now I'm going to boycott your game because you used this service. I don't think that's the right thing to do. So me personally, I'm not sure if I'm going to get the PC version or not. I might have to end up getting it simply because there's probably going to be people who want me to play on the PC or whatever. And there's new content and whatnot. But whether or not I'm going to get the PC version still remains to be seen. But one thing that nobody can do is boycott it. Because if you boycott the PC version of a game you asked for, you think they're ever going to develop another PC game again? They're never going to do it. They're going to be like, what? So they can boycott it again? Fuck that. They just need to be educated so that next time they can do it better. Because From Software, let me just tell you, nobody likes Games for Windows Live. Nobody. It's a terrible service. You should have gone with Steam. But anyways, Games for Windows Live apart, which is obviously a terrible service. I hope nobody boycotts this game. I mean, if you have a PC and you haven't played Dark Souls, get the game. It is your obligation at this point to get the game because it has been ported. And we just have to support it, because if we don't support it, we're not going to see more of this kind of stuff in the future. So we have to support it. The whole community needs to support this game as much as possible, which is another one of the reasons why I'm considering buying it just for the support, just to show that we support these types of initiatives, even though honestly I have no interest of really playing Dark Souls on the PC. I mean, I have all my characters on my PlayStation 3, and recording on the PlayStation 3 is so much better than recording on the PC. I mean, seriously, just the fact that I don't have to deal with fraps, sign me up. I hate fraps. I hate fraps with a fiery passion. But let's keep this going, shall we? So the next thing I want to talk about is, will the content be available on consoles? Okay, so this has not been denied nor confirmed. So there's really nothing I can say that is like, absolute certainty that this is going to happen. But from my experience, From Software has basically all the interest in the world of bringing this content to the consoles. I mean, just what? Oh, we don't want to make any more money. That's never going to happen. Everybody wants to make money. Let's face it. Everybody wants to make money. Most people even want to make it in the most unethical way possible. EA. Yeah, EA. Oh, did I just say EA? Yeah, the ones that really make money in the most unethical way possible known to man. But this is not the case with From Software. So I believe that it is my belief that it will come to consoles. They just haven't announced it yet. But obviously the PC version had to bring something extra to get people to buy it. Because I think they're also shooting for that market that has a console, but also has a PC and bought it for the console because it wasn't available on the PC. And now they're going to buy it for the PC. And I mean, they just want to make sure the game has as much success as possible, because I believe this is new grounds for From Software. They've never really published anything for the PC as far as I'm aware. I mean, I don't think that Armored Core has been on the PC, or Demon Souls. Demon Souls has definitely not been on the PC. And I don't think that any of their Armored Core titles has. So it's new grounds for them. And they're taking a big chance jumping into this market. And they have a belief that people will buy this game. Now, whether or not that will happen will actually depend upon us, the community, to get people to buy it, get people to try it. It's really up to us to make sure that this game has as much success as it possibly can. Having said this, I believe that either the DLC will be released around the same time as the PC version, or a little bit after. And why a little bit after? So that they get people to buy the PC version. And this might not be the most ethical way of doing things, but I mean, they took the time to make a port, and they want to make some money out of it. So I don't know if that's what's going to happen or not, but I am almost sure that it should come out on the consoles. I don't see why it wouldn't. At the very least, there's going to be a Prepare to Die version for the consoles. I expect. I don't know. Now, the other thing that also has me intrigued is, will the matchmaking come to consoles? Because obviously the matchmaking on the PC end is going to be made by Games for Windows Live. Are they going to implement that same matchmaking for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 so that you can play cooperatively with your friends whenever you want to and play the whole deathmatch thing? Well, all I have to say to that is they better. Although I have to tell you guys, this is pretty much all I had to say regarding Dark Souls for the PC. So now the other thing I want to tell you guys is, there actually is a way for you to reliably play with your friends, play Dark Souls with your friends. And this is something that I've been experimenting with and a friend of mine. And it doesn't matter which covenant both of you are. It doesn't matter if one's a dark wraith, the other one's an asshole. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the covenants. The only thing that matters is for you to understand how the mechanics of the game work. And after fiddling around with it for a little bit, me and a friend of mine, we've actually kind of figured out how it works. So while it is a reliable way to play with your friends, it is by no means an easy way to play with your friends. So this is what you got to do if you want to play Dark Souls with a friend. So first, you all got to decide on a meeting point. You got to decide on a location to perform the summon. And I can already tell you 2 locations that I wasn't able to summon from. One was at the very start of Tomb of the Giants. It lets you lay down the sign, but I wasn't able to summon a friend of mine. When I say at the very start, I mean right after you defeating Pinwheel. I wasn't able to summon there. And I wasn't able to summon at the entrance of Duke's Archives. So those were two locations where I definitely wasn't able to summon. Oh yeah, also at the entrance of New Londo Ruins, I was also not able to summon my friend there. So those are three locations actually that I wasn't able to summon. But anyways, once you figured out a location where you can summon with your friend, you obviously want to try to pick a location that is kind of out of the way to prevent being summoned from being summoned by another player. And here's how the summoning sign works. Once you lay down your white soapstone sign, what's it going to do is it's going to start running through all the Dark Souls servers. And according to some research that we did, it should take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to go through all of the Dark Souls servers, which means that somewhere in between those 5 and 10 minutes, your friend will always see your white soap sign. Now, the level range that you need to be in order to summon each other is you need to be 10 levels plus or minus 10%. So what does this mean? Say you're level, 10. So you're level 10. You can summon a level 1 or a level 21, which is 10 levels plus 10%. Okay? So you can summon anywhere from a level 1 to a level 21 if you're level 10. So those are the level ranges. And once you lay down your soap sign, there's obviously some things that you can do to improve your chances of actually seeing your friend's soap sign. Because obviously nobody wants to stand around 5 to 10 minutes not doing anything. So there are ways to speed up the process. So the very first thing, well, not the very first thing, this was one of the recent things that me and my friend figured out, is that you both set up on a location. You say, okay, I'm going to make the summon sign here on this location. So you be there. So you do your summon sign. Your friend looks around for maybe 1-2 minutes. If he finds your summon sign, immediately summon you. Obviously get into the game. Go have fun. If he doesn't find your summon sign, have your friend who is going to be the host. Okay, so you're always going to have the one person who gets summoned and the one person who is summoning. So when I'm talking about the host, it's the person that is summoning, the person that's in human form. Okay. So if your friend can see, oh yeah, that's another thing. In case you guys don't know, in order for your friend to summon you and even just see the summon sign, he needs to be in human form. Okay? He needs to use the one humanity, reverse hollowing, so that he can be in human form. That's the only way to summon someone else. So once you've done all this stuff, you guys set up on a location, your friend is in human form, you lay down your summoning soap sign, whatever, your white soapstone, and you ask your friend, do you see my sign? Your friend's going to look around, have him wait 1 or 2 minutes just to make sure. If your sign doesn't show up, your friend needs to exit the game. Just quit the game back to the title screen and load the game again. Why? Because that's going to put him in a different Dark Souls server, which means if your soap sign is still not on his server, the chances of him leaving and then seeing your soap sign are higher. Like me and my friend were actually able to summon most of the time just by doing this. Like I'll lay down the soap sign and I'll ask, can you see it? No, I can't see it. Okay, he leaves the game, comes back, then he's able to summon me. If after you come back into the game, he is still not able to summon you, move a little bit and do another summon sign. Because if you spam your summon sign, guaranteed 100% of the time, your friend will always be able to see your sign if you spam it. However, he won't be able to reliably summon you if you're spamming it, which is the reason why you don't really want to spam it. You want to just make sure that you do it every couple of, 30 seconds or something, because there's a big delay in between servers. So having the host, which means the person that wants to summon, leave the game and jump back in will have him switch servers and increases the possibility of he seeing a soap sign. And if he still doesn't see it, you just do your soap sign again because it will go to a different server. Okay? And usually by using a combination of these two methods, you will eventually be able to get your friend to join you within usually 5 minutes time tops. That's pretty much how much on our worst cases, how much long it took us to summon each other. It's been 5 minutes. And after that, just go have fun. As a matter of fact, I believe that tonight I'm going to be doing a session with 2 of my friends, which is even harder, but we've managed to do it as well because this method is that reliable. I might actually do a video illustrating how to do something like that because, I mean, I can understand, oh, it's complicated. I don't understand. What do you mean? The host leaves, the host comes back. But the basic idea is a host, the person who is going to summon you, needs to be in human form. You need to come to organize yourselves to meet on a fixed location. The person who is going to be summoned, which is normally you or your friend, depending on whatever, it doesn't matter. The person who's going to be summoned lays down the sign. The host looks around, doesn't see the sign, exits game, comes back into game, still doesn't see the sign. The person who is dropping the sign remakes the sign. Host looks around again, doesn't see the sign, exits game, comes back in, still doesn't see the sign, remake the sign. That's usually the process that we go through. And it pretty much reliably, we've always been able to join up with each other. So that's the way you want to do it if you want to join up with your friends in Dark Souls. Hopefully this helps some of you guys out. Make sure to spread this as much as you can. We've actually seen some of the stuff that we were doing on a forum post, but for the life of me, I've been looking for that forum post ever since and I couldn't find it. So if it is your forum post and you're watching this video, it's like, hey, I wrote that and he's not crediting me. It's because I can't freaking find your forum post again. I'm sorry, dude. It's not because I'm a scumbag. Believe me, I'm not saying that it was me who came up with all this stuff. We've just experimented on it and improved upon it. So that's how you can get your friends to play with you on Dark Souls. Next up, the next kind of topic I wanted to tackle is the fact that the Demon Souls servers are going to get shut down on May 31st. And I am personally incredibly disappointed in this because I don't want those servers to go down ever. So obviously I took some action, but obviously it hasn't been enough because Atlas didn't get back to me. So apparently the company responsible for maintaining the Demon Souls servers is Atlas. So if any of you has any contacts in Atlas, try to pass on this idea to them. Or if anyone knows of a proper way to contact Atlas, pass this idea on to them, which is an idea that I've passed. Which was, I said, why don't you guys get a Kickstarter project? Because we all know that everyone in the world and their cousins are doing Kickstarter projects right now. And I was thinking, just do a yearly Kickstarter project where you say we need this much to maintain the Demon Souls servers. And what I told them was, okay, so you need that much. You announce that you need this much and you add 10% on top of it. Because let's say that those 10% are to cover the expenses of having one person managing a Kickstarter process. Because just bear in mind, just the simple fact of a company keeping the servers up and making nothing is still costing them money because they have to organize people to do maintenance, organize people to do the Kickstarter project, whatever. What I'm saying is that there's more costs involved than just keeping the servers up, which is why I said add 10% on top of whatever you need to keep the servers up, just to pay the person to manage the Kickstarter project or to pay for an unexpected maintenance on the servers. Whatever, 10% on top of whatever you need to keep the servers up for a year. Put that in a Kickstarter project. Ask the community. I will gladly, or at least I'll try, to donate to that project to keep the Demon Souls servers up, and I will be sure to spread the word if such a thing is to happen. So if anyone knows a better way to get this idea across to Atlas, please do it, and thank you. Because it would really suck if the Demon Souls servers were to shut down. Wouldn't it? Come on. I mean, Demon Souls, it's an amazing game. It deserves to have those servers up. We owe it to the game. Anyways, that's all I really had to say about the Demon Souls server situation. I hope they bounce back somehow. I hope they take my Kickstarter suggestion and open the servers. Something. I hope something else happens. I hope it's not just, oh, we're shutting them down and that's it. It's over. It's all over. Next thing, I would like to speak a little about the project that I've been working on with Sidestrafe and Miss Pandora, the project Hollowed. I would really like to get as much feedback as possible. I've gotten some feedback on YouTube. If you guys could give me as much feedback on that project as possible, because it was a pretty big deal for me. I spent over like 70 hours or something working on that project. If you guys remember, I've sent a message on the social networks sometime where I said, and a surprise video, that was the surprise video, the Hollowed project. It was incredibly hard. We had to learn a lot of new stuff, how to do some voice modulation, how to write a script, which was probably the worst part of the project because I pretty much wrote the script, and I'm not ashamed to say, I'm not a writer. I am not a writer. And I would really like to have a writer on the team whenever I happen to make an Ex Machinima, but I'm just not sure if that's possible. So basically, I had to be a writer, an actor, an editor, a recorder, and everything. Sidestrafe did the art that was covering the UI. He helped me managing some of the script. Miss Pandora also made a couple of suggestions on the script. Also did the voiceovers for Dusk of Ulasil. A lot of you guys actually enjoyed her voice, said it was really appropriate for Dusk of Ulasil, and I would have to agree. That's kind of why I went with her, because Dusk of Ulasil has a little bit of a British accent, and obviously Miss Pandora is from Great Britain, and she also has that innocent sounding voice just like Dusk of Ulasil. And the other voice actor, however, had to work quite a bit to get the voice of Gwyn down. I mean, Sidestrafe does not sound like an old man at all. So he did he did the voice modulation himself. He asked me what I thought about some of the samples. And a lot of people eventually ended up saying that, oh, we feel that Gwyn does not sound as old as he should be. Well, that's because the person voicing Gwyn is not really that old. And you guys are probably surprised when you say, what do you mean? That's Sidestrafe? Yeah, that's Sidestrafe with a lot of voice modulation work and a lot of exercise on his throat as well, because he had to speak like this. And that put a lot of strain on his throat too. But I still thought it was really cool the way we kind of did the project. It's just, it was still not up to our standards. We still wanted more out of it, but eventually we just had to cave in because the recording was limited. Because the whole workflow of the project was not handled the best way by me. I'll be the first one to say it, because basically what I did was I recorded it, and then we started doing, and then I wrote a script. So I recorded it, edited it, and then I did a script. And that's not the way you should do things. You need to do storyboards. You need to do the script before you actually you need to do the script, then the storyboards, then you actually go into recording. But obviously, as most of you know, it's not that easy getting some Dark Souls footage. And I obviously can't do boss fights like Gwyn, especially because my character is in New Game Plus Plus. All of that stuff was recorded in New Game Plus Plus. No, wait, was it Plus Plus? No, it was just New Game Plus. All that stuff was recorded in New Game Plus. And it's like, it's not that easy. And I had to have the UI to do the Gwyn fight. Otherwise, it would have been impossible. Same thing for the Gwendolyn fight. I need my UI. And then there was also the problem that we did the whole thing to cover the UI. And guess what spell I had equipped throughout most of the recording? Great Lightning Spear. So there's the UI, and then there was just like this big hunk of text that said Great Lightning Spear that we had to cover. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't planned, but I think everyone had a lot of fun with the project. And I think it was cool, despite it wasn't really up to our standards. We wanted to do something better, but I still thought it was pretty cool. But obviously I want you guys' feedback on that, because those are the kinds of projects that I also really enjoy to make. But, they have to be far and in between, because one of those things requires a lot of time and dedication put into it, whereas the normal videos that I make do not require as much as something like the Hollowed project did. So that's what I wanted to say about Hollowed. And the next thing is, a lot of you guys have been asking me to do a little hype video about Dragon's Dogma. And the thing is, I haven't done it yet because I've been waiting for the demo to come out, because there's going to be a demo coming out soon. And I just really want to get my hands on that demo, get some gameplay footage, and then I can actually say more than just, hypothesize about what it can or can't be. So hopefully the demo is coming next week, I believe, or something like that. And once that demo hits, I'll be all over it like a fat kid on a cookie jar. And with that terrible line, I'm going to call it a show. This week I should be starting on getting my pre-orders, spending a whole bunch of money, which I don't really have, because I have to pre-order Diablo 3, Guild Wars 2, and Dragon's Dogma, which is finally available at my usual retailer. And despite me pre-ordering these games, I'm not going to be getting any of the pre-order items because I'm in Portugal. Oh my god. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed the show. As usual, leave me your feedback. If you guys want to have me answer any of your questions, be sure to leave your questions somewhere in Rurikhan.com. And coming up right after this show, you should be getting the Q&A session, which has already been recorded. And a lot of people say that I whine a lot on my shows. I'm sorry. I would actually consider it to be more ranting than whining, but I don't know. I guess I do a lot of ranting, but I don't think I did so much on this show. But let me just tell you, there's a huge rant on the Q&A. Sorry about that. I just can't control myself. I'm a ranter by nature. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed the show, and I will see you guys in the next one.